Welcome to Canada's Property Management Podcast, your number one resource for investing, managing, and maximizing the value of your real estate assets. And now, here's your hosts, Carla Brown and Adrian Schultz, Canada's rental property experts.
In today's episode, we're going to talk about condo property management, so condominium property management, and why an investor would look at condos versus single family homes. Maybe not why they would look at it, but there's some differences, Adrian. So I want to dig in. When investors come to me and they look, they're looking at this property and they're looking at this property. One's a single family home and one is a condo or a townhouse in a condo complex. There's some things that I need to really talk to them about those differences. So you as an investor, what would you say is the key thing that you need to look at if you are kind of looking at those, comparing the two, whether it's going to be single family home? Because a lot of people think, well, condo's just going to be a lot more less maintenance.
Yeah, I think it's the level of control, right? With a single family home, you have full control of the asset. With a condominium unit as an investment, you are, for lack of a better word, at the mercy of a condominium manager, but even more so at the mercy of a elected board of directors whose responsibility it is to assure that the property is managed well, that the values maintain and increase, etc. And the board they hire a condo management company, right? So you just have this different exposure than you do on a single family rental. One could argue that a condo could be safer because you've got a board and a condo manager, right? And others would argue that you want the level of control that you have in a single family home.
I feel I could tell a couple stories here. I'm going to tell one that just recently we dealt with a property investor who was buying a condo in this beautiful project here in Saskatoon, and they were ready to pretty much sign on the dotted line and buy this property, and they were going to have us manage it. And then they came back and said, "You know what? We've pulled out." And they're like, "What do you mean you've pulled out?" "Well, the condo board has a problem." And we said, "Well, what's the problem?" "They've been robbed. They have no money." And this is really scary because in certain provinces, Saskatchewan being one of them, you don't need a property management license to manage. So you don't have a regulatory body that you're responding to. We have an act, so there's definitely regulations in place, but anyone essentially can do it. And what happened was this particular condo board had